One, amid ongoing bagaji disputes or overcharging disputes, the number of tourists visiting Ulleungdo is on the decline. With some ferry services now suspended, the island's tourism industry as a whole is facing a serious crisis.
끊이지 않는 바가지 논란에 울릉도를 찾는 관광객이 줄고 있습니다. 여기에 여객선 운항까지 중단되면서 울릉도 관광업 전반이 큰 위기를 맞고 있습니다.
So one of the big problems is people think they're being overcharged. Apparently, everything is a bit more expensive on Ulleungdo, more expensive than, for example, a car rental, more expensive than Pohang, more expensive
Jeju.
even than Jeju, if you can believe that, because Jeju has had its own bagaji accusations in the past.
For a while, actually.
But no longer. Ulleungdo is taking the top spot over here. It costs 130,000 won for 24 hours of a rental car, apparently. Also, you're going to get charged a lot for samgyeopsal, for taxis. And as a result, of course, the number of tourists is declining quite dramatically. Year on year, it dropped from... Actually, over the last 2 years, 460,000 in 2022 to 380,000 in 2024 last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen the photo that went viral on social media and on the internet.
I've seen some. Which one are you talking about?
The fatty pork. Basically, somebody went to a restaurant in Ulleungdo, ordered some samgyeopsal. It was served, and it was basically it's a massive layer of fat. And they found
expensive?
It was very expensive.
Oh, dear.
And I think the owner of the restaurant made some excuses afterwards, but that didn't quite do to quell all the controversy.
That's certainly not the type of photo that you want going viral when you own a restaurant or when your economy is based on tourism.
근데 여객선 운항은 왜 중단된 거죠? Why has the ferry service been suspended?
There's lots of different reasons for that. One of them, of course, is the decline in tourists. They can't run if there's not enough people paying for tickets. And also, they've had some trouble with some ship malfunctions and difficulties like that. So, of course, that's a huge problem for Ulleungdo because there's no bridge to Ulleungdo.
No, there's not. The only way to get there is by ferry.
Is by boat. So if there are no boats there, then certainly the people who live there will be absolutely isolated. So they're certainly trying to fix this issue. They're having meetings in their county councils and
That's
things
right.
like that.
그래서 경북 울진 후포에서 울릉을 잇는 여객선 운항이 뭐 여러 가지 이슈 때문에 9월부터 운항을 중단했고요. 뭐 선박 고장 이슈 그리고 여객선사의 경영난도 이유였다고 합니다. 그래서 관광객이 크게 줄면서 크루즈 운항이 줄줄이 중단되었어요. 지금 굉장히 어떤 고립된 위기죠. 지금 리치 쌤도 말씀하셨지만 울릉도와 육지를 연결하는 다리가 없잖아요.
없습니다.
없죠. 그래서 이제 크루즈 운항이 중단되면 뭐 울릉도로 들어갈 수 있는 방법이 없는 거죠.
But you said it was beautiful when you went there. You enjoyed your trip.
울릉도, this was back in what, 2005-ish, 6?
Okay. You must have been just a kid.
I was just, 10? I went there to scuba dive, and it was just, it's a marine sanctuary. It's complete, it's pristine.
Wow.
It's unpolluted.
Nice.
The water is crystal clear. There's so much marine life, and the food was really good, local food. They make this rice using the local mussels.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they're not.
Pop.
Yeah, but the mussels are really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they're picked naturally from the ocean instead of being farmed.
Okay, so they have a chance to get really juicy.
Yeah, and big.
So hopefully Ulleungdo can attract some more tourism if they can manage these overcharging disputes.
Yes.
Overcharging, of course, means charging too much money, making people pay too much money. And there's a lot of different ways to say that.
Ripping somebody off.
Right.
Yeah, I got ripped off by the taxi driver.
Right. Or you can say price gouging. To gouge something means to dig into somebody very deeply, like gouge out their eyes. You see price gouging in a lot of That's what it's used in. That was a bit dramatic.
I know.
But yeah, they use it in a lot of tourist destinations where people are there on a trip, so let's get all their money. I like the Korean way of saying it the best, though. 바가지 너무 좋은 것 같아요.
바가지. It sticks, huh?
Right.
Right. here's another expression, on the decline.
Right, of course, tourism is on the decline, and that could be why people are raising prices. The two could maybe be contributing to each other. Decline means to go down. So if something is on the decline, it's decreasing in size, and it's not it's an expression you hear a lot in the news, especially in economic articles, but it's not an expression that you really want used when somebody's talking about your economy, economic situation, your career, or anything like that.
You don't really say my finances are on the decline.
You could say that.
You could. I mean, it makes
You
sense.
wouldn't want to. You could say your health is on the decline.
Yeah, that's right. So 줄어들고 있다,
네.
감소세다 이런 뜻입니다.
그럼요. You want to read that one more time for us?
I would love to. Amid ongoing overcharging disputes, the number of tourists visiting Ulleungdo is on the decline. With some ferry services now suspended, the island's tourism industry as a whole is facing a serious crisis. 자, 오늘의 마지막 뉴스도 만나보겠습니다.
As the average price of a haircut at salons nationwide nears 20,000 won, more people are turning to DIY beauty trends, trimming their own bangs or coloring their hair at home, a shift driven by the economic pressures.
전국 미용실 커트 평균 비용이 2만 원에 육박하자 앞머리를 직접 자르거나 집에서 염색을 하는 등 많은 사람들이 셀프 미용에 눈을 돌리고 있습니다.
I don't know, but that doesn't really even seem that expensive
Compared
to me.
to what you're used to maybe in Canada?
Yeah, I guess so. But
Even in Korea. I mean, it depends on which neighborhood,
Right,
which,
sure.
hair salon.
And maybe that speaks to how expensive everything has become these days. The more expensive things become, the less shocked you are by crazy prices.
Yep.
But the average price in the country for a haircut in 2020 was around 16,000 won. So that's about a 24% increase over 5 years.
Yep.
Apparently, Incheon is where you least want to get your hair cut.
The most expensive?
Right. Well, yeah, maybe they're doing a really good job, though. So maybe if you can afford it, you should head out to Incheon to get a haircut. But it's 25,000 won there.
25,000원
네.
인천이 지역별로는 가장 비싸다고 하네요.
Of course, if you're going to do something fancy, like get a dye job, like get a color, that's going to be around 100,000 won. 파마도 진짜 비싸요.
네, 파마는 20만 원.
Right.
네.
That's right.
여기에 뭐 클리닉도 있을 수 있고 또 디자이너 시술까지 들어가면 뭐 30만 원은
Right.
금방 올라가죠.
Yeah, it
네.
gets up there really quickly.
That's right. Where do you get your hair done?
I just do it myself with a knife.
Really? Wow. Such a tough guy.
No, I just go to the place near my house.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, because when things get expensive, people start doing it themselves. DIY, do it yourself. So a lot of videos that teach you how to do it yourself are getting popular these days. And a lot of self-beauty tutorials.
셀프 미용.
Right. Self-미용 movement이죠.
Yeah. 이런 셀프 미용 가이드 영상이 많게는 수백만 조회수를 기록하고 있고요. 따라하면서 직접 앞머리를 자르거나 뭐 직접 염색을 한다든지 네. 그리고 셀프 미용 제품들도 굉장히 많이 판매되고 있다고 하네요.
Right. You've always been able to get like dye kits
Yeah.
at places like Daiso or other kind of dollar stores. But now there's even more. Although I think anybody who has tried those knows that it's not quite the same
Right.
as going to a salon.
You know what? I love DIY. I love DIY home interior. I love DIY anything. But when it comes to my hair, that is one risk I refuse to take because
DIY.
DIY?
Don't do it yourself.
Exactly. Don't do it yourself. DIY for Yerika. How about you? How much does a haircut cost in Vancouver, Rich?
Well, it depends again where you go, but 2만 won would be around $20 approximately.
Yep.
So that's the price of a relatively affordable haircut, but you can very easily be paying $40 or $50 for a haircut.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that's why many people are turning to DIY options. When you turn to something, literally means it just means point your attention at something, but it can also mean to start using something to either support you, or you can also use it negatively, like maybe someone is turning to alcohol to help their mental situation.
그러니까 뭔가로 눈을 돌리다라는 뜻이죠.
네.
네, 눈을 돌리다 혹은 뭔가 대안을 찾다 이런 의미로도 사용될 수 있고요. Turn to.
Right. And one DIY option is trimming your own bangs. Your bangs are your 앞머리죠?
Fringe.
Right. Also can be your fringe. That's what they call it in the United States. And you can cut them yourself. And if you ever want to spend some time laughing on the internet, there's a lot of funny videos.
I know. They're hilarious.
People trimming their bangs and failing epically.
I have failed epically.
Have you? Did you film it?
No, but it feels
man.
It feels like such a waste to go to a hair salon and
Right.
pay the same amount basically to get just my bangs trimmed, and my bangs grow really quickly.
It's one of those things, though. It looks easy until you try it yourself. You
Very
realize
tricky.
that there's actually some professionalism that goes into that.
그러니까요. As the average price of a haircut at salons nationwide nears 20,000 won, more people are turning to DIY beauty trends, trimming their own bangs or coloring their hair at home, a shift driven by the economic pressures.